Welcome back, everybody. It's now time for Game 2 in the grand finals of the WVW. I don't actually know what WVW stands for. It says something like World Professional Classic,
It doesn't
but
even say on the
WVW
even on
National
like the
Esports
there's
Classic.
like letters underneath that are in Mandarin, but it still starts with WVW. So they're
How
like,
about that little rainbow logo? Like, let's.
I don't think it's that bad. You were flaming it earlier. I don't think it's that awful.
It's,
Rainbows are good.
rainbows are fine, but like on a white background as well, it's just like so
The white
bright and
background was a
glary.
little too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I mean, it reminds. Well, it's kind of like these new little shiny nicknames people are
I
getting.
don't know
Except
how I feel about that. And so they don't work for some people. Like XCT and Pretty Hall don't have one.
I guess they haven't filled in their like in-game leaderboard stuff.
Or
Is
they're
my
not on the
guess.
leaderboards. I would be
Maybe.
surprised if someone like if they weren't because they're extremely individually skilled as players. I
Maybe
feel.
they just don't play that many pub games, or like some people just don't play that much
Yeah.
solo pub games. They only play with friends, and they're when they want to play
This is
games,
true.
they play scrims or whatever.
Right.
And when they're playing casually pub games, they just play with like friends and don't actually play. Maybe they play ranked. Just you have to do solo. You can't just do team matchmaking to get on the leaderboards.
Right. That's true.
Um,
And some people are too busy, like if they have like other responsibilities,
Yeah.
they're either like scrimming and practicing, or they're not playing.
you have to play like a certain amount of games over a period of time as well.
Okay.
Because that was the problem I had when I first moved back here. Like I played some on the Australian server, I was playing the American server, and I didn't actually get to play many games because I cast too much.
Yeah, that's my problem too. That's the only reason I'm not.
Oh
playing
yeah,
cards. I just don't play enough
hashtag
games.
subtle brag.
I just don't play enough games. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, we overwork you, Brian. If
Dude,
only you had more
If
time.
only I had
to-
more time, I'd totally.
I think it's
do
like 25 games over a month or something
Okay.
along those lines.
it. All right, and we see the Centaur.
Yeah. This time around, it's hard to ban out Centaur when your opponents have first pick. Game 1, it was Vici Gaming with first pick, so they could actually get away with banning out the Centaur because anything left in the pool they had first grabs of. But it didn't work out for Vici Gaming there, so they got to basically reinvent themselves here in Game 2. Once again, the Invoker's in the pool, but after in Game 1, do you go for the? I think you can be fairly certain that Centaur is an off-lane solo.
Yeah, see,
Rarely is this a safe lane solo.
I still don't like this first pick Centaur because not only has he been nerfed in the patch to where he can't really contest as much in the lane as much because his early game stomp is a lot more expensive. Not only that, but you kind of lock in your lanes, right? The reason I believe that Hyper Glory Team won that last game so convincingly is because they just won the lanes. They guessed what Vici were going to do.
Yeah.
They ran in aggressive at it. They were able to last pick an axe and put him in a situation where he's going to thrive in a solo 1v1 position in the safe lane. And that's why they were able to win.
Well, the Axe lane wasn't
But-
why they won, because I think if you look at the Axe lane, that
Well,
was a wash.
I
No one
know
won
I
that lane.
agree. Is the other lanes why they won, but they were able to dictate the lanes.
Yeah.
Like they decided at like their last pick what the lanes were going to be instead of it being obvious early. And when you pick a Centaur, it's like, oh, they're going to be running, standard safe lane, tri lane, Centaur off lane, unless they run like carry Centaur, which we've seen some European teams do. But I don't like it that much.
I think it definitely favors HGT when they're the ones in control of their own, basically
Yeah.
in control of their own fate as
When
far
you
as how
pick-
the game pans out. Because even I could see that
Dire
game
team
1 going
ban.
differently. Like let's say those like they don't get the first blood, they don't get those first couple kills in Invoker, and then you have got a much more even game. But
Radiant
either way,
team
HGT
ban.
put themselves in a position where they were dictating the flow of play,
Right.
going on the aggressive, trying to find those kills. But game 2 now. Vici Gaming, they make sure they get the sanking this time around with their first pick, and they also get a Templar
Get a
Assassin.
Super Templar.
One of his,
He
I
does-
think he plays a pretty good
10
TA.
Yeah,
seconds
he does.
remaining.
He doesn't play it as much as someone like Ferrari.
5
but-
seconds remaining.
He's still got a decent Templar.
Yeah. Ferrari to me is always gonna have the best TA just because of that one
Reserve
clip where he kills
time.
the Broodmother.
That's true.
Like that clip just cannot be topped as far as TA
That's
plays
true.
goes.
Kind of like what cements you as a amazing player.
Like the ZSMJ PL farming the second relic. Like there's a few of those moments
Oh my
which just
gosh.
people will not forget and will forever be like ingrained, at least
Forever
in my
immortal.
mind. I
Yeah.
mean, and maybe less so with the ZSMJ clip because that was Dota 1, so for Dota 2 players it was kind of in the past. But
Right.
well, we'll see what the plan's going to be here. Vici Gaming.
I think Vici were smart banning out the
Dire
Ember Spirit
team
there because
ban.
Yeah.
Hyperglory team with their really space creating supports were able to make it where he wasn't getting punished in the
That
mid
was his
game.
third pick in game 1 as well.
Yeah, they didn't ban it early. So even though he got nerfed, like Ember Spirit's still a hero that if you can't shut him down in the first 10 to 15 minutes, his mid game can be
10
surprisingly
seconds
yeah.
remaining.
TA's same hero as far as I remember. in the
5
new patch.
seconds.
Yeah, I don't think she was
remaining.
touched.
Okay.
She might have been, but if so, I'm not. I mean, they fixed a bug
Reserve
on her
time.
that if you. It used to be that the cast point for activating traps on your hero used the normal cast point instead of the trap cast point, which is supposed to be almost negligible.
Yeah, because in the past you always had to click the traps to cast them, so
Yeah.
you didn't you like throw your hands up in the air to do the casting
10
or whatever.
seconds.
Well, still, if you use it on the hero, it'll just do the most recent one you put down.
Dire
I think.
team pick.
Okay.
But at least it'll do the shorter cast point.
Okay.
Which means it'll just
Oh,
pop
no,
faster.
but no, there was an actual balance change where they changed the traps as well. It wasn't just the bug fix.
Oh, okay.
So they changed it so that the sub ability doesn't have a cast time anymore.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
That was a bug. Well, it was. I guess it wasn't technically a bug.
Yeah, that was like an actual
Mirror
change.
Balance thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a small TA buff.
Radiant
It was one of those buffs which
team
didn't
Pretty
make any
tiny.
sense. It was just like let's make this hero harder to play, have a higher skill cap by making
Yeah.
it so you have to click the individual trap to cast it.
It's kind of like why. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what Dota 2 is trying to do is make the game more simplistic and not have these silly nuances. I mean, a lot of the mechanics are still there to make Dota 2 what it is, but
We still have random abilities going through Magic community because that's one of my biggest
Yeah.
gripes, but it's fine. It's fine.
10
I'll just get over it.
seconds
I just have to
remaining.
get over it.
Mirana picked up for Vici Gaming. So we saw
5 seconds
support
remaining.
Mirana game 1 by HGT. And Silo could be the Mirana here, especially when you've got a TA.
Reserve
Like, you don't
time.
really need to be picking too many core heroes. But
Okay.
Sanking Mirana plus another support works for them well, or they can... I feel like Sanking Mirana as your 2 supports is just, like, both are kind of 4-position heroes. Neither's a true
Dude, if you
5
can't beat them,
support.
join them. Like,
Yeah.
HGT
it worked in
ran
game one,
sinking
yeah.
Mirana. Vici's like, all right, we'll see if we can. I don't think they can top how dominant HGT were in that
Yeah.
first game, but
It's one of those
We'll
things
see.
like where if they didn't have that good early start and you don't have a 5-position support to fall back on, like your early to mid, your early game really struggles because both these heroes need farm.
it's like Wraith King support too, because it's like if you get early kills, then
Dire
you're really
team
dominant
pick.
because you can then like farm the jungle easily. You can continue to roam because you got enough items to be able to roam effectively early.
Yep.
But if it goes bad, like if Mirana gets no farm in the early game, it's like she's nothing but her arrow and Moonlight Shadow. So it's same thing for Sand King. Like he can kind of catch up in the jungle now, but if you don't roam effectively early, it doesn't work out that well.
My guess is we're going to be seeing
Radiant
a
team
Silo
pick.
Mirana, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, that fits more Vici's style than a support Mirana. I don't know if I've ever even seen. Who's the Sand King player? Fenrir?
FY had a really beastly Sanking the one game we saw in the Summit Asia where he was
Oh,
hitting
that's
the.
right.
I think they
That's
both play it though.
right.
Like I
Okay.
think they've had like sometimes they go Sanking Rubik and it'll be FY on his Rubik
Yeah.
and Fenrir on Sanking. So
Okay.
I don't think there's a set.
Fenrir and
Sanking
FY are one of the more.
10
They're like
seconds
a net and
remaining.
extinct
Yeah.
in that respect. They kind of just.
player. No, which one's the
Swap
4
out.
position
5
player? Which is the
seconds.
5?
there's
No one
not
really knows.
Yeah, no one really knows.
Like like you say, net extinct plays the junglers, but
Like
If
Net's like known
Reserve
for his
time.
Sand King, but sometimes they just extinct plays a Sand King because Net's going to be on the Shadow Demon or something.
I think less so that.
Okay, maybe not
No,
that
no.
specific matchup,
It's
but they do
more-
swap it.
They swap 4 and 5 position. Like Net plays 4 position support unless except when they pick junglers. That's when
Dire
Extinct will
team
play like
Ah.
he'll play the Chen or the Enchantress, and
Okay.
then Net will play the Shadow Demon.
That makes sense.
If they go Shadow Demon Chen, it's Net on Shadow Demon. If
Okay.
they go Shadow Demon Sand King,
Look at this!
they
Look at
swap
this
around.
Undying pick.
yeah.
The Undying pick and the Coddle ban.
Okay.
So
I've heard a lot of people say
10
Undying's now,
seconds
like Undying's one of
remaining.
those series which has been made a bit more legit.
yeah, but the problem with Undying is what is he
5
good at?
seconds remaining.
Winning a try v try. Are they 100%
Also,
certain
like
they're gonna?
the mid game pushes too, like the 15-minute.
That's
5-man
true.
push your towers.
Team
That's
ban.
true. He's really good at 5-man because it's much harder to kill the Tombstone now.
Yeah.
And you can't just
But-
farm. And you can't just farm creeps. The Tombstone takes much less damage from towers now. Actually, that was a bug. I don't know if it's a bug fix,
Okay.
but they changed the armor type,
10 seconds
so it does like
remaining.
50% less damage
Nice.
from the tower. So you can throw the
5
Tombstone up on the
seconds
tower
remaining.
and it not be nearly as bad.
Well, I like
And-
that. If you want to go for that 5-man push, though, you
Reserve
need a good
time.
hero to push, actually kill the towers. And right now they don't have that. Like Weaver, you don't do damage to towers until you get your Death Sled, or
Dire
whatever it may be.
team
So
pick.
I feel like their last pick, you want to get something like a Dragon Knight for your
Yeah.
solo mid, your I don't know what it may be, but you need some actually good pushing mid hero. Even a Pugna, like you could fit in a Pugna and you're gonna
There's a
scary
DK
draft.
in the pool.
I think DK or Pugna last pick for HGT.
Ooh, yeah.
I
We
wanna
don't
see-
really see Pugna too much in the solo mid
I
role
know.
though.
I think it was you or LD was telling me like Loda kept saying like he thinks Pugna's still really good in that. Like he wishes his team picked him
Loda
more
just
Pugna.
loves him some Pugna, man.
Okay.
And so if
10
it's in there, he's gonna
seconds
pick. He's not gonna
remaining.
give it S4. He's gonna play it for himself.
Okay, fix Undying Tombstone. This is one of those
5
weird patches
seconds
where so many
remaining.
of the balance changes were bug fixes, so you can't
Yeah,
just
it's
read
actually
the
a
balance.
balance thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Reserve
like
time.
Naga actually got a buff with the Manta change because it's a lot harder to
5
like hex her
seconds
now.
remaining.
Because you can't just like target her with a hex, and when she comes in range, it does it no matter if she pops illusions or not.
Yeah, I have
Radiant
not read
team
through these bug
And a
fixes, but I feel like I need to.
Venomancer is a hero we have not seen a whole lot of recently. A hero
Mm.
that really fell off since the beginning of 6.8.
Yeah, he was pretty big in 6.7.9. I remember there was like at one point like teams were fighting over first picking this hero.
Yeah, that was
Navi
a
left
really
him for a
strange
while.
period. You even saw some farming Venos. You saw some offlane Venos, some mid Venos. So it'll be
He's
interesting.
one of the better like support heroes to zone out an offlane. Like like Sand can pull,
10
can jungle farm,
seconds
while Veno
remaining.
just level 1
Yeah.
poison sting and Centaur can be pushed out of the lane.
There's going to be
5
so much
seconds
fighting at like the
remaining.
15 to 20 minute mark in these teams because
Yeah.
it's both of their goals, right? With a Venomancer, Sand
10
King,
seconds
Nyx,
remaining.
like you kind of be. It's more ganky for Vici and more team fighty for Hyperglory team, especially
Oh,
with
a
his puck
yeah.
pickup.
It's
So-
very heavy team fight, and Vici Gaming like have not got the best split pushing lamp to avoid those team fights if they want to pressure lanes. Like Morana's not bad, TA's not bad, but they don't. It's not really what they excel at.
Right.
So.
This will be interesting to see.
I like this. Yeah, I think Venomancer kind of fell. Like Venomancer's niche, I feel, used to be just having a Plague Ward wall to defend pushes.
Mm-hmm.
But the kind of push strats people go for nowadays, it's like the Plague Ward damage you just kind of shrug off.
Yeah, and I think people realize that he wasn't as strong of a pusher really because
No.
the wards do piercing damage.
He's to me, he's more of an anti-pusher than a pushing hero.
he-
But
the
even
wards are
his-
actually it's a positioning thing. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to like if you push with the wards, it's hard for the other team to come and defend it because there's wards there. They don't actually do a whole lot of damage to the tower.
And even as an anti-pusher, he kind of just fell off because teams just
10
started to realize
seconds
like
remaining.
you ignore these wards. Like
Yeah.
the problem is they draw the creep aggro, but as long as you have
5
heroes, the
seconds
problem is the current day
remaining.
push strats all involve heavy summons like Necro 3s, Treants, whatever it may be,
Right.
Forward Spirits, and these kind of things don't care about Plague Wards. In the past, you go for a push strat, it was like you had a Pugna plus creep waves, and you relied on your creep waves. No longer do push strats rely on
That's
creep
true.
waves.
I think the Venomancer pick might have also been tried a bit to counter the Centaur, just to get some
Yeah.
ward hits on the Centaur to disable the blink. So it defends your chase. Like if you're gonna get chased, it helps like defend your chase a little bit, so they can't blink and close the gap as easily.
Well, we'll see what's going to be here. It does. There's not. I guess Centaur as well as Weaver can in theory go BKBs, but not normally your.
How many Centaur BKBs have we seen?
Look, man, you got to watch the Chinese Dota players love their BKB
Really?
on any hero like Centaur, Bristleback.
I don't think I've seen a lot of Centaur. I guess I've been in a weird time schedule. Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden I'm watching a lot of Summit Asia Dota, but previously I was working exclusively European Dota with Starladder.
I
so-
think initially when DK and Vici Gaming were picking a lot of Centaur, it was like the standard build was like Trenkles, Blink, Mech, and then BKB.
Okay.
Sometimes Pipe. The Pipe was more like,
Man, I missed out on all these WPC
Situational,
games.
yeah. but there was quite a lot of Centaur BKBs just because of how he plays as that like kind of suicide and off lane hero.
Okay.
But-
I think that's smart.
It wasn't. I would say like it was maybe like 50% BKB, BKB 50% Pipe.
Pipe. Okay. I
And
saw
you wouldn't
almost
normally get
exclusively Pipe in
both.
Europe.
But yeah, the European players definitely do not get BKB anywhere as much as the Eastern teams do.
Okay.
But yep, we've got game 2 here. HGT surprisingly take game 1. And we'll introduce our two teams here. Starting on the Radiant side, it's going to be Team Hyperglory. XDT on the offlane Centaur, one of his most played heroes. We've got 121 playing the Undying. We've got Kaka on the Puck. Pretty hot on the Rubik. And then finally ZSMJ playing the Weaver as your carry.
And for Vici Gaming, we'll have ROTK on the Nyx Assassin in the hard lane, off lane.
30
Templar
seconds
Assassin will be
to
played by
battle.
Super. Venomancer will be played by Fenrir, and joining him in the support duo will be FY, playing the Sand King. And Sylar finally will be farming up the Marana.
Okay, so it is a Silent Marana. This looks like off Triline versus Triline, so we get to see another Triline versus
That's
Triline.
exactly. I mean, if you run Undying, you have to try to go for a Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane situation, in my opinion. Because yeah, you're right about him being able to really like bolster mid-game pushes, but if you don't get a Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane, like his early game
battle
presence is just for
begins.
naught. Because he can't roam, right? Undying's not really a hero that can roam. So if he's in solo safe lane, he's just gonna stack and pull, which is not really why you pick an Undying. You pick him to win tries and mid-game bolster pushes.
Well, good news for Vici Gaming. They got an early D-ward off with this Sentry. It was looking to just D-ward the pool, but it actually got the Observer Ward, which was just trying to get some vision in the trees.
So what we might see out of Vici
They're
is
dodging.
just, yeah, they're going to try to dodge it because you don't want to go up against an Undying in a try. That's why we saw him so much in 6.77,
And also...
was it? There was a lot of Undying picks.
A few version back. The hero used to be
Okay.
really good. Nyx gets kind of crushed by Centaur 1v1. That's the other reason you want to do this.
That's also true.
Like, this is a big mismatch in my opinion.
And shutting down the Centaur would be really good if he gets a really late blink. Centaur is just, it becomes a lot less dangerous.
Silo's fine to just solo. He can get leap, just use that defensively. And the thing is, this trial lane up top don't know where the supports are. They may be assuming they may be just lurking, waiting for aggression, but they've gone in bottom lane for the first blood here. XDD, he got double edge level 1. He did not expect this gank. And this will be first blood. So nicely played. ROTK with the last hit.
And that's why you really don't see that much Undying anymore, because you can just dodge the tri lane.
That was a very... They even saw this... They knew the support started top because they de-warded the ward. So, at worst, they're thinking, okay, they smoke up and gank mid. But they're not expecting them to be bottom lane
the way down.
at 1 minute in.
Right.
That was really smart rotation from Vici Gaming. That's where I feel FY and Fenrir are really clever support players.
Vici also did a really good job with this really aggressive like ward placement and walking in the early game, so they could see. They wanted to scout out the lanes as soon as possible, right?
Yeah.
So they could know where to put their supports.
Sylar, he goes for a standard safe lane pull. And this is the other thing, they de-ward the pull, so even if this lane is pushed out, Sylar can just pull the small camp, pull the wave back to his tower, and now he's got a creep wave under his tower, so even if he's not getting last hits, he's getting experience, which is probably more important than the farm for now, at least.
And this is... XCT's just going to have it. Like, he can't even come to the wave here. And, like, they can't... And the thing is, like, they can move Undying and Rubik bottom, sure, but if that happens, Vici will just move their supports back top.
No,
so... Undying can't get a kill by roaming.
And how do you move them bottom? Do they you just TP him? That's a lot of money to use on a support hero early game.
You either hoof it or you just stay in lane and he can. I mean, they're at least they're radiant, so they can try and maybe cut down some trees and pull some creeps and farm. But
going offensive trial lane with non-roaming supports is one of the biggest risks you can take because if you need to switch your lanes, your only option is to buy early game TP scrolls. If you got roaming supports, the thing is they can gank mid on the way to bottom. Like they can go for a smoke gank mid, try get a kill on mid. Even if you don't get a kill, just zone them out. Then you head bottom lane after that. So either way, like you put some pressure on. But with like Undying plus Rubik, you can't really gank. You've just got to, like you say, hoof it all the way bottom if you want to switch.
They're going to try to go on him here, though. But Sylar, as you said, can just kind of leap away.
He's already used the leap here. I think that's
wow.
Take me.
Just a bit caught out there. And with the decay, it's actually a lot of killing power.
All right. Much more kill potential than I realized. And he actually skilled Tombstone level 2.
That was a bit, like, Sylar shouldn't be getting caught out there. I would say that's a bit of a...
top tower
poor,
is under attack.
Poor positioning from him. He knows exactly what this trial lane's capable of. He shouldn't be in a position where they can catch him.
Dire's structures
It's not like it was a random
fortified.
gank or hero showing up in the rune or something.
And so this is exactly what HGT needs to do. We've been spending so much time talking about how they dodged the tri lane, but if they can push this tower really early, like that'll kind of ameliorate that entire issue.
We've got the bastering on ZSMJ. Armor turned on and... the Undying. He actually pulled it to this neutral camp. This is really nice because he can get these last hits and maybe even get some neutral kills off of this. So they're pressing the tower while getting Undying some farm and levels.
So HGT making the best out of a bad situation right now.
Imagine what's happened. Sylar's probably thinking he wants to drag off the tower. That's how he died more or less last time. So the tower getting chipped down pretty low. Bottom lane, the Sanking Venom have not found another kill. They've been sitting here for a long time, it feels like. Probably longer because of the pause, but they're about to be hitting level 3. And maybe that's what they're thinking. Sanking, level 3, the 2 points in the Burrow Strike could be able to get another kill next CT here.
Surprised the Sanking hasn't just tried to farm up some creeps.
Oh, CT pushing forward. I think he's going to get caught out here. 10 goes through the trees as well. Misses the Impale! ROTK, just wait for that Burrow Strike. He's going to hoof stop, but the Carapace is there. Nicely timed by ROTK. It will not matter. Sandstorm going to follow, and there we go. Another kill on the Nyx, on the Centaur going to the Nyx Assassin. Sylar top being zoned out, so this is... I think it will be a tier 1 tower, like, in the next minute or so. Unless the supports rotate up there, which they probably don't want to do.
Yeah. And XTD doesn't even have, like, a ring of protection for his Tranquils. Poor guy.
Yeah.
4 last hits, 2 deaths.
That's painful. And the supports now, they're going to get some jungle farm of their own. And Sanking say, look, we can do this.
Going to keep looping. Like, they still want to pressure Sylar. They can just kind of zone him out like this.
This is just to help them get the tier 1. Like, with the zoning. They've got the siege creep. Unfortunately, they have no creep wave, though.
And the decay stacks hurt Sylar so much. He's at 23 minus 7 strength. Wow. That does so much.
Not fun. At the same time, he gets more like cost effectiveness out of his HP regen. Then,
that's
like you use a Tango when you're decayed, and then by the time when you get that strength back, you've healed up more because of that. It's one of the things I love about playing like a DK mid against an OD. When you get your intel back from the Astral, like all you need is a magic stick, and you have 2 magic stick charges, but you've got like a 30 mana pool, so you can go from 0 mana to full mana. Oh, an arrow hit top.
Oh, XCT came top.
Ooh, Pretty Hole was dead if it were not for the Centaur. Actually, yeah, didn't notice central lane until the arrow.
Radiant's
So
bottom
HGT's
tower
like,
is under
okay,
attack.
this bottom lane's gone. We're just gonna try to push.
Yeah, they're trading towers. No
Yeah.
Bassy for the Dire side, but they've got Venomance, a Plague
Dire's
Ward.
top tower
This is a
is
pretty
under
slow
attack.
push from Vici, but it's gonna go
Radiant's
down.
bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
just as slow from HGT. They just had a bit of a head start. These actually getting really low. He's got no HP regen.
Now, is HGT gonna tie?
Dire's
Okay, they already
top
had the
tower
Synth
has
Undying bottom.
fallen.
They're gonna try to defend this, I think. I don't know if they have any more TP support.
The supports are backing off.
ROTK's pretty low, actually, and he's getting some
Venom's,
decay hits.
Venom's gone back to the tower. He's actually not here. Another TP coming in. This tower's going to get denied, it looks like, with all these
Wow.
TPs in. They could try and sneak this one. ROTK still lurking around.
They're baiting it out. They want him to try to go for this tower.
RTK, please. This is the kind of play RTK
Oh,
loves
now they're
to go
going
for.
in.
They want to go for this kill. Pretty Horn may go down, and this could lead into a tower as well. The tower's deny range. Get the deny dying. The glitch is going to use. That was a clutch glyph. He had that last hit. Fenrir wants it still. He's trying to get it. He's going to die for it. It goes to the Venomancer. He goes down to the decay. That's worth it, though. As far as gold goes, well worth it.
Yeah.
But it was such a risky play. If he died and did not get the tower, oh boy.
This game has just been a lot of good plays and a lot of good counter plays as well. And they're gonna super.
He's got phase boots here. This could be a dead undying. Yes, Sand King, Burrow Strike,
He's dead to right.
and ROTK nearby as well. He's not even going in. He's lurking around. He should have gone in. They need that vendetta damage.
The Vendetta's gonna get him now, though. Unfortunate passing.
Thank you very much. He could have been just chased, but the phase boots plus trap slow would have been enough. But
So yeah, that was a really good job by Vici there by making the decision to go in on the tower at the right time, really. Just like letting the Venomancer kind of be the martyr there.
And they didn't do like a lot of pub players there would just go straight for the tower and try to compete for the last hit. RGK say no, we stopped them getting the tower denied by going for the kill.
Right.
He went on the Rubik with an Impale and the Sand King followed with a Burrow Strike.
Exactly.
So it was never like a let's stop them, let's try and contest the tower. It was like let's just straight kill them.
Well, yeah, they knew they couldn't just run at the tower because they would eat a tombstone, and it would
Tombstone,
bad.
telekinesis, you're pretty dead.
Right. That's the thing with an Undying. You're just trying to avoid fights at this like prior to 15-minute mark, and they're doing a very good job of that right now.
But now, TA taking a bit of damage at mid lane. They're going to get a D-ward off here as the Sentry scouts that one out. But Silas found himself in a 1v1 matchup against ZSMJ. Bit of a slightly Weaver-favored matchup because he has the early game head start with the offensive trialing. But this is just more Sila getting experience.
Oh, Nyx has his Blink Dagger already. ROTK,
He's had such a
3
big
kills. He's been involved in every single kill so far.
game. I mean, the kills have happened bottom lane. That's
lane.
where all the action's been for
True.
Vici Gaming. So he hasn't left his lane really.
That's exactly what you want.
You say your Nyx is like involved in 4 kills at 8 minutes, all 4 kills. You think, oh man, he's been ganking great. It's like, no, he's just hung around bottom.
It's still an off-laner's dream, right? To
Yeah.
have to leave your lane, to be able to basically free farm after 2 minutes when his supports come down and still get like almost all the kill credits.
And the Arcane Boots will pop those mid for the TA, and it looks like he may swing top. ZSMJ, you can actually kill this Weaver with an Impale into Arrow. So I think with good reason he's set up there, but Puck's actually going to be in a good position to scout this out.
One
with
mana burn
Nimbus.
might be enough to make it to where you can't even time-lapse either.
He has the magic stick. I think that
Oh,
should
yeah,
be
yeah.
enough. They're actually going in for the kill here. Miranda may be dead before the fight begins. The Impale going to catch up the Weaver, but already too late here. ZSMJ gets blown up by a Meld Strike, though.
For
pretty fair
heresies
trade.
unknown,
Oh, it's actually
Slightly
I will
VT Gaming
decree
favored,
your
I'd say.
death.
Just because of how well Weaver's doing, but
That's true.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
both teams
attack.
having to commit 2 heroes from HGT, 3 from Vici Gaming. So.
And Weaver at least got the experience.
Yeah. So Sand King, he's hit level. He supports us so high level as well from all these kills and all the plays they're making. So he's level 6 on Sand King. Veno trying to get his level 6 at mid as well.
I'm surprised Undying's level 5 as much.
Because
I guess they were able. They just stood up top for a while.
Yeah.
But since he came bottom, he's just kind of had to walk around awkwardly.
Sand King's even going to hit level 7. He's just jungling the enemy jungle.
Yeah.
He'll get scouted in a second, but what are they going to do about this?
Shadow.
See the Sandstorm. Sand King going to get helped out by a Moonlight Shadow. And they actually see the Moonlight Shadow. They were trying to go for a kill at top lane. Oh, that's unfortunate.
tire
If
of
they
serving
only know the
this.
Moonlight Shadow's coming because Sand King got spotted.
Right.
If he stayed in the Sandstorm, it probably would have been fine. Oh, they're going to get the Blink Impale though. Arrow follows it up. They'll kill the Puck anyway.
Strange.
Wow.
Puck knew that was coming, but
You
Blink Impale
died
just
on
catches
the
him by
temple's
I don't
surprise.
know if they knew RTK had the blink yet.
to see it.
He used it top lane
Oh, okay.
to get
That's
the 200
right,
on the
that's
Weaver,
right.
but,
Radiant's
at the
top
same time, like
tower
you
is
can only
under
play so
attack.
defensively. You have to be in a position where you can like defend your tower, but without like, being completely out of the lane. You want to be in experienced range, or at least in range to throw orbs to push out creep waves.
And you have a Templar Assassin to lead the way. Like, that's just a very good lineup to just dive and kill a tower like that. Templar Assassin, if all, like, she can just
Radiant's
throw up a
top
fraction
tower
and get a
is
couple
under
towers.
attack.
With that, Vici Gaming up 6-3. They I definitely give them a big edge here in the early game. They prevented the Undying from having any impact whatsoever. Like, he's been involved in 2 of the 3 kills, but it's never been like the scary Undying team fight or 5-man pushes that the hero is known
Right.
for.
I mean, we talked about it earlier. Vici is more of a gank lineup, whereas Hearts Get Together is more of a team fighting lineup in the mid game. And Vici's been almost exclusively fighting 3v1, 2v1. So they're doing what they want to do there.
Sankey's got a blink as well as a level 7 now, and we're just
Oh,
we're
wow.
11 minutes in, which is like a kind of normalish time. We've seen these Sanking blinks. Ooh, smoke gets revealed from the high ground. Puck sees the Nyx. Maybe he just thought it was Vendetta. I'm not sure what he expected from that one, but it's not just the Nyx assassin. It's also the TA headed top, and Undying could be in some trouble here. TA has phased drums here. It's pretty swift and mobile,
Radiant's
but
top tower
they're pinging.
is
They
under
know
attack.
exactly where they think he is.
Radiant
RTK's still, he's
structures
gone
are
back
fortified.
invis though. He doesn't know about this one. There's going to be an impale to follow the tombstone. They need to try and burst this one down, or they need to just run.
Your death
They're going to
was
have to
a
run.
secret I
One
could
tower
no
low if they want to
longer
try and focus
hide.
down. They put a siege creep as well. Rotation's coming in here. There is no glyph available, so HGT still going to be able to defend this tower for now, it looks like. Pretty good pace that I feel Vici Gaming a player. Like, they're ganking smart here. They're not putting themselves in any position where they'll get
Radiant's
ticked
Oh,
by
and
the
the
team
tower
arrow.
fight.
has
It's pretty
fallen.
Pretty
Pretty
good.
taste of his own medicine.
Oh, Meltstrike gets the first one gets counted here. Puck gets stunned up by RTK. The blink impale coming in. The carapace.
And they're just going in one by one right now. HGT.
They're getting like so many of these things. Just I mean, they're getting caught a bit by surprise. Like it looks a lot worse than it really is. Going in one by one, like the RTK blink impale being so clutch here. Now they're invis up. The impale going to land on their Weaver, but gets a Shikuchi off just in time. Otherwise, that meld attack I think would have killed him with a mana burn.
Right.
And that, oh, man, everything just going right. Like Centaur stampedes in, gets stunned up by a carapace. It's
And Siler's really been the weak part in this lineup because he's 0-2 and his farm hasn't been very good, but now he's got his Midas, so he'll be catching up relatively quickly.
they want CSMJ, RTK. Well, that was so greedy. Going for the Vendetta hit. You just got to impale that.
They're still going to try to go on him here. The mana burn is going to... Oh, yeah, he's got enough for one more Security, but that's it. Oh!
The spill damage.
Wow.
Talking about Ferrari, man. You just that one to me was
Wow.
that was a hidden hope though. Like
It is a hidden hope.
It was
but
some skill, but also
still.
like he went for it and came up big. That was
Yeah.
a nice little side blades attack from Super.
It's like blind sunstrikes. I mean,
Yep.
there wasn't necessarily quote unquote skill involved, but it's still very interesting to see.
It's like you basketball, like throwing, like it's about to be halftime and you just throw that
Throw that shit
half-court
up.
shot and you hit that half-court shot on the buzzer, like and you're
Yeah.
like, yep, I got that.
that was all me.
You hit one in, you hit like well, not even 1 in 20. You hit like 1 in 1,000, and when you get it, it looks fantastic. So
Good play, that's everything. And it's heads up too to be able to be like,
Yeah.
oh well, we're not going to get the kill. Might as well try this, because a lot of players would just be like, oh shit, we didn't get it, so let's back off.
we said Ferrari, the bigger TA player, Super wanting to make a claim to that one here.
Sure is.
Sylar now. He's really caught up with this top lane. Looking at the net worth, he's he's just behind the Weaver, but TA and Nyx Assassins really crashing this right now. And Super's going to find himself an Aegis. This Roshan may be contested. It's being pinged out, but
I don't know if they want to fight into these wards.
no.
There's
They
only
can't.
3 down.
This is the kind of fight you do want to take with an Undying, though. Like
That's true.
14 minutes into the game,
But
your
XCT
opponents are
has-
grouped up at Roshan. You want to contest Roshan using Undying.
Roshan
XCT has his
has
blink,
fallen
not
to the
up on him
dark.
yet. They can't fight right now. XCT doesn't have his blink yet.
RTK,
no.
perfect position. Ooh, misses the impale on the puck, but gets it on the Undying. Undying just needs a
Now the blink's
tombstone and run.
up.
RTK's just going to straight up die on this one, unfortunately. Not the best initiation from him. Super goes in, the arrow going to fold this one up. XCT's dead. There's the epicenter. They're going to lose the Undying. They can just focus the tombstone now. And with that dead,
Is all
this is going to
around
be a
you,
bit of a
but
lost
it
cause for
hides from
That was
HGT.
so bad for
unworthy.
HGT. XCT had his blink bought, but had to wait on the courier, and so they weren't able to be the ones to initiate, and they got initiated upon instead.
The Nyx initiation was not
Radiant's middle
fantastic.
tower
Like,
is
No.
he only hit the Undying, and then there was no follow-up. It was like Undying just got stunned, and then he used Tombstone right after.
Right. But they were still able to kind of set the pace. Right.
There you go. Now they're going to get themselves possibly a tier 1 tower out of this one. There's a lot of HGT heroes converging around. They've got all 5 back up now. Puck on the high ground. Puck's out of mana. He can't really fight this.
Radiant's
Fenrir
middle
has
tower
all of these
has
mid-game
fallen.
items up now. ROTK and FY have their blinks.
Oh, man.
Fenrir already has his mechanism.
Yeah, that's you can't really like. This is where you,
TA's got Drum Yasha.
This is where Undying should be
Radiant's
strongest.
middle
Like, the
tower
lineup
is
with the
under
Undying, you
attack.
think they team fight stronger, but they're just too far behind on items and farm. It's a 10k gold deficit. So end of the day, heroes don't matter when you're behind by 10k gold. The arrow going to land. They kill the puck on the high ground here. As Central blinks in trying to help him out. The Carapace going to come out now as well from RTK. Stampede to try and cover the return. Is there a Burrow Strike? It's back up just now. They're going to be a bit careful here. Another Burrow Strike coming in. Puck actually going to buy back for this one. As TA now looking for the Impale. Oh, Nyx is looking for the Impale as Puck will get himself out of there.
Alright, everyone lives.
Oh, Puck had to, well, Puck died back.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that was who they
He died back.
initially went on. Sentinel tried to save the Puck with a blink stun, but it was too late. Super now. Tier 2 tower just going to get taken, it looks like. The Plague Wards. This is where Plague Wards, they're not so much doing damage to the tower for the push, but they're being really annoying because they're so tanky. To me, Plague Wards are annoying in pushes and counter pushes just because they're tanky, not because of the damage output.
Right, yeah. It's the damage output and the blink breaking if the other team tries to go on you, right? It kind of covers your ass in the entry.
Three hero Dream Call. The Burrow Strike, the Hoofstomp's not going to be there. The Burrow Strike cancelling it.
Blown up.
This Puck may have hit a 3-4 hero Dream Call and then Waning Rift to follow, but he's not going to kill anyone except the TA with an Aegis. TA will be respawning soon. Silas now being chased down. ZSMJ wants him. Think we'll be able to get him one more right click. Yep, ZSMJ gets the kill, but now he's left his team alone. The Burrow Strike coming in. They've already killed off 2. That's going to make it 3. There's no answer to Super on the TA. He's now focusing down the Tombstone, and Tombstone will be brought down. TA getting help another 150 gold.
It's the mechanism. They can keep pushing.
Yeah, T2 tower guaranteed pick up for Vici Gaming here. Super's 3.8k gold plus. Like, holy crap. He gets a tomb, he gets a double kill in that fight, I think, and then he gets a tier 2 tower.
And I don't think there's anything Hearts Get Together Hyperglory team can do right now. This was just 2 mid-game lineups facing against each other, and whoever really had the stronger first 15 minutes was probably going to take it. And 16-5, it's pretty solid that Vici had the much better early game.
Oh yeah, this is almost just like the reverse of game 1
Yep.
as far as what happened here. Weaver did kill the courier, I believe, after that.
When you pick these mid-game lineups, it's so important that your laning stage goes well. And we saw the last 2 games, whoever kind of won the lane shuffle won the lanes and then ended up winning the game.
And it entirely came down to the support rotations from FY and Fenrir, deciding to go straight bottom and doing the somewhat least predictable thing. Like, I mean, you can say it's the least predictable thing, but it's the thing that made
But what can Undying
the
do?
most sense. Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why he stopped getting picked.
And it's not like you have a Dazzle. It's not like you've got a Undying plus Dazzle, and Dazzle can pick up a TP scroll and have a TP Grave or something to help out. It's just a lost cause. And Venno, I love the early gem pickup, like especially against the Weaver. But even Venno's is one of the heroes that benefits from gems so much because it's so easy to de-ward using Plague Wards to give you high ground vision and combine that with a gem.
And they took down the tier 2 mid early, so there's so much room to freely de-ward, right? And
HGT
so they
will
can
just be starved, like stuck in their own base, waiting to farm.
They can just like smoke them out basically. They're just gonna siege and take apart all of their sources of income.
ZSMJ does get an Invis rune. That Nyx was actually hunting him. Knocked me out. Ooh, Sala. I think realizing he may be the one in a bit of trouble top. Oh, RTK.
Oh, Vici actually had the courier sniped off about
Yeah,
it.
I think that was the Weaver chased Mirana, and then I think the courier was coming in, was my guess.
Okay.
Again, I don't have courier hockey. Like 2 games in a row.
Oh, that's where ZSMJ during that fight was so far behind everything.
Yeah,
because he went after the courier.
he killed the Mirana. He killed the Mirana. Mirana got like split apart from the team.
Oh, we see a blink.
Blink from the center as well. Mirana again. Sala just. I think Sala's just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'm not sure, no.
We'll go down. TA gonna show up now as well, looking for some revenge, and I think forget Weaver. Get Pretty Hole here. There should be an Impale.
Impale doesn't seem in
Too
time.
late, yeah. Well.
Okay, well that was good for HGT.
Yeah. It's good, but it's I mean, it sounds like it's not that big. Like, I want to say small, but it was still a Mirana end of the day.
I mean, the problem is, like, Siler's just their insurance, right?
Super's, like, I honestly, I think Super's just completely unstoppable.
I mean,
he could
Siler's
1v5 this game.
Siler's contributing probably the least to the fights right now.
Sanking, like killing the Sanking is more important. Well,
Right.
at least as far as a team fight goes.
Like,
Maybe it's like a pick-off, you'd rather kill Mirana.
Siler's just insurance. So HGT, I guess, is just trying to play the long game a little bit and hope their Weaver comes fully online before the Mirana does.
I mean,
that's really their only chance.
Realistically, Vici Gaming can fight 4v5 without Mirana. Like, Sanking plus Venomancer Ultimate TA picks up a BKB now. Had like 6k gold and decides to go for a BKB. RTK scouting everything out here. They've got him with an epicenter. Impale should follow. Gonna hit on the Puck here, and Puck gonna get taken out by a Burrow Strike. Sanking getting the kill here. Stuck in Sandstorm. Central does come through. Could be in some trouble. Pretty Horde just steals the Sandstorm, and there's your mech from Fenrir. The ultimate coming in as well. Sanking takes a spill regardless as
There was a poison over off, but they're not gonna go on it.
gonna get some of these heroes a bit low, but it could be healthy enough. I like this from the next. Picks up a Dagon. When you're
You're ahead.
Yeah, you're ahead by this much. Dagon's the way to go.
Dagon and Jim are like the two items that do the best job at kind of solidifying your early game dominance, right? Because it's the other team has probably got really low level, really low items, so they're not, your supports aren't going to have bracers or big HP items, so you can burst them down really fast. You're not going to be able to jungle to make up for it, and so you can just de-ward and zap them down. And it leaves you open in the late game if they're able to survive
Radiant's
it. But
bottom
And great
tower
against
is
Weaver as
under
well.
attack.
Yeah, just to have the
Yeah, it
burst
is
damage.
good against
Even when
Weaver
he's
as well.
going Lincolns, looks like he's even completed his Lincolns on the courier. It's still just nice because when his Lincoln's down, and if you do happen to catch him with a
Radiant's
Lincoln
bottom
tail, you can
tower
maybe
is under
solo kill.
attack.
Like generally speaking, you can't solo kill a Weaver
Radiant's
as a
bottom
mix.
tower has fallen.
But with a Dagon, you probably will come close.
Yeah.
So Super now is BKB 2.5k.
Super is 8-0 with Drum Yasha BKB at 21 minutes and 2.5k gold. What's his next item? Do you think he goes ahead and finishes the Manta, or does he get start going building crit?
He goes Desolator, I think.
Goes Deso. Okay.
I think Deso is the most cost-effective damage item. The Yasha is really nice on its own. I think you go Deso and then get the Manta, or you can go Deso plus crit. But
I've seen some people get. Usually when I see people get BKB, I see them get crit.
found the RTK Nyx Assassin in the center and leave it teaming up for that. So
All right. HGT, get him some pick off.
it's the Nyx as well. Nyx is level 11. It's not. I mean, any pickoff now buys them time, and right now HGT just wants space to farm, push out these lanes, get some kills, get whatever they can. So that in itself is not bad.
Right.
And Weaver's all the way up at this tier 2
Dyer's
tower
top
farming and
tower
pressuring
is
the lane.
under
So
attack.
it does go to show. He's got the Centaur to back him up. No Stampede this time around though. HGT, all things considered, have really played the last 5 minutes of this game really well, I'd say.
Getting pickoffs, like letting ZSMJ farm a little bit, keeping him safe. Like they just kind of have to survive for the next 10 minutes, and then they'll be able to come back a little bit stronger. Get pickoffs, be safe in those pickoffs. Don't try
Swiftly
to
to the
force
temple's
fight. Even though you
defense.
have an Undying and a puck, you're still going to lose. So know where your strengths are.
I have some faith in ZSMD's Weavy. He had that crazy game the other day, well not the other, like a couple weeks ago where he had like double Divine Rakers and
Oh yeah.
took it in like 70, 80 minutes, so I believe in ZSMJ. That was against LGD. I think that was the 2-0 in WVW.
Okay. Alright.
I might be mixing it up with that.
And yeah, I think I agree with your decision to go Desolator next, just because Vici's probably realizing that the Weaver's kind of ahead of their Mirana, so they need to be pushing these towers down fast. And Desolator gives that, as well as
Just like generally like
destroying Roche.
well, Roshan, Tombstone, and Centaur. I think the big three that just you
yeah.
want the Deso. I mean, Deso even against a root, like you're gonna get more damage from a Deso than a crit, generally speaking.
That's true.
More reliable, like it's much more
Especially when
reliable
you only
damage.
have one real damage item in the Yasha.
So tier 2 tower at top now being
Radiant's top
like
tower is
sieged
under
by Vici
attack.
Gaming. It could be an attempted fight here. I'm dying. I mean, he's got this tombstone, but I just don't know how much it's going to be able to offer here. Super with his damage can just bring it down so fast if he's got the refraction damage up. And yeah, tier 2 tower just gets left undefended. So I mean,
Radiant's
that's what
top
Vici Gaming
tower
could have done
has
5 minutes ago,
fallen.
but unfortunately they were split up, getting picked off, and until they actually had everyone alive, they can't safely go for these tier 2 towers. So there is your Desolate completed. 23 minutes, BKB, Deso, Phase Drums, Yasha. This
This is a really fat TA.
is 5k ahead of the Weaver. I mean, when you're this, it's not so much Weaver's behind, it's just that TA. So
And at this point, I really think they should just group up and try to push.
I think they're waiting for next Roshan.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty small. How long do we have on the Roshan? It's going to be...
I don't know, man. What are we looking at here? What is it?
It spawned right now.
I was about to say. I was looking at Roshan. I was like, where's the timer?
where
I
is it?
just see
Under
dots. I'm
attack.
like,
So yeah, I think they're
Did
going
Roshan
to... I
time a
think the
break?
courier is going to see it, so they'll know. No, they just moved it, but they know it's up. Okay, so they're going to
they
go
have
in.
the trap. Yeah, they have the TA trap.
Oh, that's it.
So this will be impossible to contest, even if HGT made it. They head straight there right away, but Deso TA, this is.
HGT at least has their mech up on the Centaur, so they have a little bit
Yeah.
of hope in the team fight, but it's going to be really hard for them to take.
Roshan has
Fine,
fallen
yes.
to the Dire.
Vici with Aegis on the Mirana, all these blinks, all the initiates with the TA just being able to destroy the tombstone in just 1 or 2 hits probably.
Surprised they don't give it to the TA. Especially Mirana is very squishy, but like Mirana could actually just buy a BKB right now as well and does so. So I feel like with Mirana with a BKB, you'd rather have the TA with an Aegis maybe, but
I just think they don't think Super's going to die with his BKB as well.
that's true. He's got a haste ring on top of that. Well, TA now hits level 16. drawing lines toward him at bottom. They'd love to find some pickoffs here. And for Vici Gaming, they've got a good 5 minutes to come up with a plan as far as using this Aegis goes to try and siege the high ground, because they've taken every single outer tower. Problem is right now, their map control's not that good. Like, HGT are actually pushed out pretty far near this top
They're
lane.
grouped up top, and I don't know why
That's
they're
what RTK
pushing
says.
this.
We want to push you out of here. Oh, they've got an Impale onto ZSMJ. And ZSMJ maybe into trouble. Can he get the time-lapse off? It looks like he should be able to.
The epicenter gets cancelled.
Oh, that's a nice cancel there. The Dream Call comes in, catches out 3 or 4 heroes here. BKB Mirana leaps to the low ground, will bring down the puck nicely. That's a gem as well. As looks like a full retreat now coming out from HGT. Unable to find anyone else, though, as ZSMJ does scurry away. But I think Puck had a gem which got taken, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sanking has Fenrir's gem, and where's the other gem? It's on the Nyx. So yeah, the Radiance gem gone, and that's actually really important to have against the Nyx Assassin. Blink Fire Strike. This is going to be a dead Undying arrow.
Nicely done.
No time to do anything.
And that was just a. The problem is HGT, like as a team that far out, of course you're going to get caught out. Of course they're going to force a fight on you there, and there's no way they win that fight. But what else can they do? It was kind of like they were frustrated, right?
I think they were hoping that Vici Gaming like tried to 5-man mid for whatever reason, so they could just counter, or just counter pressure top and then TP back at the last minute. So they're like, let's just be as try and be as efficient as possible without farming, while hopefully Vici Gaming don't come and punish us. Vici Gaming did. Yeah, gets another couch. He's already up to 3k gold. It's not even funny at this point how big Super is.
Oh, Rubika's arrow though.
Okay.
See if he gets a clutch one. Too many creeps in the way.
Oh, good initiation. Blink, Hood Stomp, the arrow gonna fly as well. Sylar getting chain stunned, but this is why he wants the Aegis. This may just save his life. He pops his magic ball, that'll heal him back up, and Mirana getting low. Just wants to fight. He doesn't care. He'll drop that Aegis here. The Dream Call not gonna matter from Super, as he's got BKB, wants to chase down this one.
Still alive and doing some work.
Okay, haven't focused it just yet. They're actually leaping up after the Weaver here. Weaver on the run. One more Blink and Impale. That's going to finish him off. Didn't have the Lincolns up, unfortunately.
So now Vici is probably just going to be able to take these racks.
This might be a GG call soon, I feel. Like, this is... Like, I think it was fine for them to hang into the game this long because they were finding useful pickoffs, but now that the high ground's been sieged, this is GG. I can agree with them not GGing out earlier because they were actually doing really well.
And they did arguably have a better late game with Weaver over Mirana. Arguably, but TA was just too fat. Like, they weren't going to be able to respond to that. If Puck had a better start, maybe a fast scythe. If the Centaur gets a Blink Dagger like 4 minutes faster.
It's one of those games that just makes me lose faith in Undying, like heroes like Undying, just based on their hero concept. Not so like sure you'd have to buff him so much to make him viable, maybe.
Well, you have to. Undying is one of those. You have to draft around it. Well, it's more like you don't draft your own heroes around it. You have to make sure the other team is stuck in their tri lane.
Yeah.
Like if their supports leave, you got to make sure they're running like a really greedy carry that they can't leave alone.
Okay.
Because if they have like a really greedy carry they can't leave alone, then the supports have to stay and they have to fight you.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to just dodge.
So like you pick your anti-mage, your Spectre, whatever it may be, then maybe you can
then
like offensive counter with the Undying.
Yeah, if you know the other team is stuck in their tri-lane, then you can run it. But even then, they might just like completely swap lanes. And
you can almost it's one of those things. Even a hero like anti-mage, you can just leave him solo against that tri-lane. Like they left Mirana solo there just to survive. Like you could do that with an anti-mage and just win the other lanes, and anti-mage catches up later.
Yeah. Like Sylar was very smart there, and like I said, he was just insurance. He got a Midas kind of late, but not that late, and then he was just able to farm up decently enough to be relevant in the mid game. And
that's the thing. That could have even been a true hard carry hero, and they were fighting 4v5. It's an insurance, and they focused 3 heroes' efforts onto shutting down 1 hero, and that meant the other 4 Vici Gaming heroes, the supports were getting so much farm, so much done around the map. So
it's just hard to pick an Undying into a Sinking, because Sinking can go wherever.
Yeah.
He can go jungle. He can go roam. He can do whatever.
Sanking's becoming like tier 1 pick now. He's like the new Centaur almost as far as how popular he is.
Yeah, I would say he's kind of like Nick's support was in terms of the level of getting picked.
Now.
Yeah, a lot of teams are doing it. It's not necessarily tier 1, but it's really really close. Like a lot of teams are picking him.
I feel like he's taken that popularity spot because of how far you can farm so fast and use the jungle. Like a hero like Nyx, you could only use pull camps.
Right.
So. Yeah. Well, it's 1 game apiece now, so we've got ourselves from here on out, it's a best of 3.
It is.
This is a good best of 5. Grand finals, guys. The WVW National Esports Classic, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
It's Vici Gaming versus Hearts Get Together, or Hyper Glory Team as they're now known. I'm Gods, he's K-Pop Toasters. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Game 3 coming your way.